Speaking of saving money, tomorrow marks the start of Financial Literacy Month, and we're taking a look at smart ways to invest and some mistakes to avoid.
Yes. For example, creating a budget, trying to pay off those credit cards every month.
For more on this, we are joined by Laura Adams, personal finance expert and spokesperson for Prosper Marketplace. Laura, thanks for coming in. Appreciate
Thanks for having me.
So I'm guessing if I can't afford the new Tesla, I probably shouldn't put that $1,000 down payment. I want to ask you about tax season because here we are in the midst of it, and I did get a bit of a refund, and I put it toward paying off credit card debt instead of into a savings. Did I make the right choice? Because I think others may have that debate as well in the coming weeks.
It is hard to know what to do with extra money. Maybe it's a tax refund, maybe it's a bonus, an inheritance. One smart thing that we want to do is to have an emergency savings fund. That's a huge mistake. People will go on and do other things with their money without really pulling back and keeping some for those emergencies.
So I made a mistake.
So if you have an emergency fund in place, Mike, you're fine.
Too late. Your credit card will not give it back.
I can assume that you do.
I have a little one, yeah, but this would have been not, that was my debate. I didn't know what to do.
Well, and here's another debate I think a lot of people have is if you have credit card debt, a lot of people have, racked up some credit card bills or maybe student loans. So should you get those paid off before you really start investing in your retirement, especially if you're on the younger side?
It's a great question, and the answer is you need to do both. Okay. If you wait and all you do is pay off debt, you'll never save for retirement. You'll never get there. The earlier you start investing, the huge growths are going to come. That's only going to be available to you if you're investing early. If you wait, you're not going to get the benefit of compounding interest. So you've really got to do both, pay down debt and save for retirement.
Do you ever find that horror stories about people not saving for retirement inspire other people to do that? In other words, you hear of people who didn't save enough and they're having a tough time. Does that inspire other people who are younger to say, I don't want that to be me?
It really should inspire people, and there are many, many sad stories. So we do need to think about what's the worst case scenario here, and what do I want my life to look like down the road? And really the secret is starting early. It's just doing very simple things. It's saving regularly, month after month, year after year. And if you start early, you're going to put yourself in a really good position to be financially secure. If you wait, you're going to have to pay a lot more money out of pocket to get there and to have security.
Is that the biggest mistake you still see, is that people just start too late?
They start late. They're not creating a spending plan that allocates that money out of their budget for the retirement.
Yeah, because there are a lot of people, especially in the Bay Area, that are living paycheck by paycheck, especially in this region.
And if you are living paycheck to paycheck, it's a terrible place to be, but there are two solutions. Okay. Earn more or cut expenses, or both. It's really a math equation there.
I've heard a lot of people say you should live not within your means, but below your means.
That's the way to have discretionary money so that you can set aside for retirement, for emergency funds, or for kids' education, all those financial goals that we want to achieve.
And it's really important, I think. You also mentioned one of the biggest mistakes is not following your credit and your credit report. And I just refinanced my house, and it's unbelievable how picky the banks are. I mean, one little late payment on your Macy's credit card or something can just ding you. So what's the best way to keep track of that and to keep it as a good score?
Yeah, it's really important. Consumers can use apps these days. There are some fantastic ones out there. I recommend Prosper Daily. This is a mobile app that allows you to look at your credit, stay on top of it. These are really easy ways to make sure that your credit is trending up over time. If it's not trending up, you want to make sure that there aren't errors on your report that you need to fix. That's a cause of a lot of problems. Good credit is going to save you money on mortgages, loans, insurance, and a lot of things. So it's very important to stay on top of it.
Do you think people get sucked into debt? Because we grow up, you always hear about peer pressure. But then as adults, your friend gets a house before you do, and they do this. Do you see that as you get older, that peer pressure still exists, and people bury themselves to stay competitive with their friends and people in the area? Yeah.
It does, and we really have to step back and say, what are my values, what are my goals, and stay focused on those. If we want to have a safe, secure retirement and future, we've got to put that ahead of our immediate sort of buying impulses and wishes, like the bigger house and the better car. Those are great when you can afford it. But when you can't, we really have to stay focused on priorities to stay happy and secure for the long term for us and our families.
Laura Adams, personal finance expert. Thanks for being here. Good luck with the podcast. I'm going to check it out.
Thanks so much for having me.
Appreciate it. Coming up next on Mornings on 2, the 9, did El